John cursed under his breath. Christmas Eve, the 11th hour, and he was empty-handed. His son, little Sam, longed for a special teddy bear. A pang of guilt struck him. Work had consumed him, leaving no time for anything, let alone Christmas shopping. The toy store aisles were stripped bare, save for a few sad, forgotten toys. Despair began to set in. John's phone buzzed, an unwelcome reminder of a work email. He glanced at it, then at the desolate street. A sliver of hope appeared, a shop, tucked away in an alley he'd never noticed before. It glowed with an inviting warmth, promising a last-minute miracle. The sign above, barely visible, read, "Curious Curios." John hesitated for a moment. He wasn't superstitious, but something felt off. He shook off the feeling. Sam needed that teddy bear. Steeling himself, John plunged into the unknown, the shop's warm light beckoning him like a beacon in the cold December night. As he entered, the scent of antique wood and something oddly metallic hit him. It was a peculiar mix, but somehow not entirely unpleasant. A small bell chimed above his head, announcing his arrival. The interior was cramped and cluttered, filled with bizarre trinkets and oddities. A shiver ran down John's spine. It wasn't the cold. The air hung heavy, thick with an unsettling energy that made the hairs on his arms stand on end. He cautiously navigated the cluttered aisles, his eyes scanning the bizarre wares. Shriveled hands floated in jars, dusty tomes lined shelves, and strange, unidentifiable objects sat on velvet cushions. Dust motes danced in the single, flickering gas lamp that illuminated the shop's interior. The air was heavy with the scent of incense and something faintly metallic, like old blood. John felt a presence behind him and turned swiftly. A figure stood silently, shrouded in the shadows. He couldn't make out any features, only the glint of what might have been eyes in the darkness, looking for something specific. A raspy voice emanated from the figure. John cleared his throat, trying to appear unfazed. Yes, actually. A teddy bear. For my son, the figure chuckled, a dry, rustling sound like dead leaves skittering across pavement. Ah, a teddy bear. A classic. The figure glided toward the back of the shop, beckoning John to follow. He arrived at a dusty display case. Inside, nestled amongst antique dolls with vacant eyes, sat a lone teddy bear. It was perfect. The bear was crafted from rich, brown velvet, its fur slightly worn in all the right places. 2 black button eyes gleamed up at him, and a surprisingly cheerful red ribbon was tied around its neck. It seemed to radiate an odd warmth, beckoning him closer. John reached out a hesitant hand, his fingers brushing against the bear's surprisingly soft fur. A jolt, like static electricity, ran up his arm. He recoiled slightly, shaking his head as if to clear it. "This one?" John said, his voice barely a whisper. The figure chuckled again, the sound setting John's teeth on edge. An excellent choice. He's special, that one. John ignored the comment, chalking it up to the shopkeeper's eccentricity. He just wanted to leave, the bear tucked safely under his arm. As he turned to leave, the shopkeeper's voice rang out, sharp and clear despite the man not seeming to move his lips. He's quite attached, you see. Best not to leave him alone for too long. John hurried out, the unsettling feeling returning tenfold. Back home, the unsettling atmosphere of the shop seemed to cling to John like cigarette smoke. He shook it off, focusing on Sam's sleeping face. He carefully placed the bear on the nightstand, the soft glow of the Christmas tree lights painting it in an ethereal light. Sam would love it. He knew it. Christmas morning dawned bright and cheerful, washing away the unsettling memory of the night before. Sam, eyes bright with excitement, tore through his presents. He froze, staring at the teddy bear. "Dad?" Sam whispered, his voice filled with awe. He carefully picked up the bear, cradling it close. "He's perfect." John felt a pang of relief. The unease from the night before seemed absurd now. It was just a teddy bear after all. How could he have been so foolish? As the day wore on, John couldn't shake off the feeling of being watched. He caught glimpses of the bear, perched on the edge of the sofa, its button eyes seeming to follow his every move. He dismissed it as his imagination, the remnants of a stressful night. Sam, however, remained inseparable from his new companion. That night, John woke with a start. A low guttural growl seemed to emanate from Sam's room. He sat up, heart pounding. He crept towards the sound, dread coiling in his gut. The growl came again, angrier this time, punctuated by a string of unintelligible whispers. John slowly pushed open the door, his blood turning to ice. Sam was fast asleep, clutching the teddy bear. But something was different. The bear seemed larger, its fur matted and dark. The once cheerful red ribbon was gone, replaced by a collar of what looked disturbingly like human skin. John stared, paralyzed with fear, as the bear's button eyes snapped open, glowing with a malevolent red light. John watched in horror as the teddy bear began to shift, its plush form contorted, stretching and tearing. The once soft velvet ripped, revealing rows of razor-sharp teeth. Claws, wicked and sharp, sprouted from its paws. The button eyes, now glowing embers of pure malice, locked onto John. The transformation was complete. Gone was the innocent teddy bear. In its place stood a grotesque mockery of childhood innocence, a creature of nightmares given form. Its fur, now matted and thick, seemed to writhe with a life of its own. The air grew heavy, thick with the stench of decay and something sickly sweet, like rotting fruit. The creature grinned, a horrifying distortion of a teddy bear's smile, revealing rows of jagged teeth. Its voice, a guttural rasp that seemed to claw its way up from the depths of hell, shattered the silence. "Well, well," it rasped, its glowing eyes fixed on John. "Looks like playtime's over." John stumbled back, his mind reeling. The creature, its eyes burning with malevolent glee, sprang from the bed. It moved with an unnatural speed, its claws tearing through the air with a sickening swish. It lunged at John, its guttural roar echoing in the small room. John barely had time to register the searing pain as the creature's claws raked across his chest, tearing through flesh and bone with ease. He cried out, collapsing to the floor in shock and agony. The creature loomed over him, its grotesque features twisted in a mockery of a child's toy. "You should have listened," it snarled, its voice dripping with venom. "He gets awfully lonely, you see, hates being left alone." It raised its claws again, its shadow falling over John like a shroud. Sam's screams pierced through the haze of pain engulfing John. The creature, its attention momentarily diverted, turned towards the terrified child. Now, Sammy," it crooned, its voice a grotesque parody of a lullaby. "Daddy just needs to learn his lesson. Isn't that right, John?" The last thing John saw before the darkness claimed him was the creature advancing on his son, its shadow swallowing the room whole. The sounds of his son's screams, punctuated by the creature's gleeful laughter, echoed in his ears, a horrifying symphony of pain and terror that faded into oblivion. The creature, its thirst for blood far from satiated, moved through the house. It was a whirlwind of claws and teeth, leaving a trail of carnage in its wake. The Christmas lights twinkled merrily, casting grotesque shadows on the walls, a silent witness to the horrors unfolding within. The once festive home stood silent, the Christmas lights casting an eerie glow on the blood-soaked carpets. The only sound that dared to break the silence was the soft ticking of a clock, counting down the seconds in this new, terrifying reality. Outside, the snow fell silently, blanketing the world in a pristine white shroud, oblivious to the horrors that had transpired within. The creature, its bloodlust finally sated, sat amidst the carnage. It picked up a shard of a broken ornament, gazing at its reflection with a chilling satisfaction. The once innocent button eyes gleamed, reflecting the twisted Christmas lights, a testament to the darkness that lay hidden beneath the surface of the ordinary. The creature, a macabre perversion of childhood innocence, had claimed its prize. And as the sun rose on Christmas morning, painting the snow-covered landscape in hues of pink and gold, only silence remained, a chilling reminder that some gifts are best left ungiven.